All right, this is Matthew chapter 17, verse 17. Then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. I want to start out by giving all glory and praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua by Shem Rakakwadash. I write double honors to the elders and apostles for teaching us his truth. Peace and blessings to the brothers pushing the word throughout the four corners. Peace and blessings to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, it's your brother Karab, man, coming at you, all right, with a spiritual quick hit. Man, let's talk about this wicked and perverse generation, man. All right, this wicked, faithless, perverse generation. And it is faithless, man. That's why the scriptures say all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Okay, that's why the Lord said, woe to the world. See, the Lord is not dealing with the current behavior that the world is currently showing. That do as thou wilt, that young and reckless, that YN behavior. Okay, the Lord is not dealing with the black culture, man. All right, because a lot of our people is just running wild. And when I say our people, I'm talking about you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Indians, man. You're the Lord's chosen people. And yet you walk around the planet Earth having fun, looking retarded, being a goddamn entertainment center to the goddamn world, man. Meanwhile, we are people with class. We are people with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. We are people with law, statutes, morals, principles. You see what I'm saying? But the world, they don't give a damn about being a principled person. They don't care about you being a faithful person, being loyal to Yahweh Shema Shai. You're looked at as an enemy on this side. You're around a bunch of godless individuals. A lot of these people are atheists, man. You know, really, and they don't even know it. Their spirit is an atheist spirit because their spirit don't even believe that there is a God, man. They don't believe that a creator that created the world, all right, is currently judging the action of these people, man. And they're gonna reap what they're sowing, man. A lot of these people, they're sowing to the flesh, but like I said, you sow to the flesh, you're gonna reap corruption, okay? And that's what's going to happen. So that's why the Lord in Matthew 17 and 17 chapter, reading it again, then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. All right. And one thing about it, man, hey, that's the Lord command us not to love this world. All right. We can get James 4 and 4 because I like a certain word that the Lord used pertaining to the world. Okay. This is James chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and ye adulteress, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? All right, enmity. All right, to be enmity means to be against. All right, something that's the complete opposite. All right, and one thing about it, this world is the complete opposite of the Lord's natural order, man. And why? Because we have a wicked person in the ruler seat. Evil is currently ruling the ruler seat right now. So knowing who you are, knowing these truths, man, hey, you're not gonna know them unless the Lord is dealing with you, because this devil ain't gonna make sure that you know who you are as a people. All right, this devil's gonna keep you people asleep, man. That's why I got the scripture queued up. It say the God of this world has blinded the minds of those that pretty much just don't believe. You know, the Lord pretty much bringing this strong illusion on our people because they just don't believe, man. They faithless. You see. They always going against the grain, man. They always going against their power. They always murmuring and having things to say about things that's pertaining to their life, pertaining to life and death. You see? They joke about life and death, man. All right? James 4 and 4, ye adulteresses and ye adulteress, right? Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of Yahweh Shema Shai, because the Lord don't love this world, man. Let's get John 15, right? Let's get John 15. This is John chapter 15, starting at verse 18. If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world will love his own, right? And you being of the world, what does that mean? Being an unprincipled and immoral person. Okay, you're being the complete opposite. You're going against the scriptures. You out here eating pork. You're sleeping with the next man's wife. All right, you're changing your gender, right? Changing your sex. Okay, all that is perverse. All that is a part of the wicked and faithless and perverse generation. Okay, These LBGT fucking parades and shit, man. The Lord's not dealing with it, man. All right, YN culture, feminist culture. The Lord is not dealing, all right, with it, man. All that goes against the righteousness and order of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Okay, that's why he said, trying to be friends with the world make you an enemy to Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. That means you are an enemy. You are labeled as an enemy, man. You don't want to be on the Lord's bad side, man. Okay? This is John 15 and 19. Because they hated the Lord when he came on the scene, man. When the Lord walked the earth, man, they hated him, man. He was different. Like the Lord told them, hey, ye are of the world, man. You are from beneath, I am from above, man. You see? You are of this world, I am not of this world, man. The fashion of this world is going to pass away. And the Lord knew about it because the Lord's going to be the reason why this world passed away. Because guess what, man? Hey, he's going to meet thee like what it say? He's not going to meet thee as a man. When the Lord come on the scene, it's going to be great judgments that's going to befall upon you people because you have walked in a careless, you have lived, right? You have walked carelessly and you have lived a careless lifestyle. John 15 and 19, if you were of the world will love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. So, hey, you should look, hey, if you're not being hated by the world for aligning your life up with the scriptures, okay, what are you doing? You're not doing nothing right, man. Because one thing about it, this world is not going to like a person that fear the Lord and keep his commandments, man. They're not going to like an individual like that. That individual can get the hell out their face. But little do they know, man, hey, it's a heavy judgment for disowning and disrespecting Yahweh Shema Shai, for walking in this world acting like a God don't exist, man. Okay? It's a heavy judgment for that. All right? And the Lord is watching the behavior of people. Okay? So, a wicked and perverse generation, what does that mean? Matthew 17 and 17 refers to a people, particularly in a Bible context, right? Biblical context, who are characterized by rebellion against the Most High, willful unbelief, and moral corruption. All right? It describes a society that has strayed from truth to follow disordered, crooked paths of immorality, right, and selfishness, often despite witnessing spiritual truth. So they don't give a damn about the end times. They don't give a damn about fearing the Lord and keeping the commandments. They don't care about World War III. They don't care about famine. They don't care about concentration camps. All they care about is having a good time. That's why the Lord referred to this generation as wicked and perverse, right? Let's go ahead and get Matthew 16 and 4 in God's word translation, right? In a different translation. It said, evil and unfaithful people look for a miraculous sign, but only sign they will be given is that of Jonah. Then he left them standing there and went away. So Jonah represents the prophets. The only sign you will see is the prophets, man. And it's prophets in every state, man. In your nearest city, in your nearest towns, man, preaching the 100% truth, man. The Lord got men that are set up according to his heart that teach you the 100% truth. They not your slick shoe pastors, all right? They're not out there asking for money. They're not out there asking for nothing, man. All they doing is freely preaching that word, man, and not leaving off nothing, man. Telling you about the end times, the UFOs, the chariots, giving it to you all, man. What I like to call it, giving you that spiritual buffet, man. That's why it's very important to eat, because the Lord's going to judge the world for his for his wicked acts, man. Okay? And like the Lord said, evil and unfaithful people look for a miraculous sign, man. And a lot of these people are evil and unfaithful, man. Unfaithful to who? Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay? And the Lord is watching. This is 2 Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3 in the AMP Bible, the Amplified Version. All right? This is 2 Corinthians 4 and 3 in the AMP version. And it says, but even if our gospel is in some sense hidden behind a veil, it is hidden only to those who are perishing. Ooh. So the Lord said if our gospel is to be hidden, it's only hidden from those who don't deserve to hear this truth, man. When you go back into the wicked and perverse generation AI overview, what did it say? It said a people, particularly in Bible context, who are characterized by rebellion against the Most High, willfully unbelief, and moral corruption, right? It describes a society that has strayed from truth to follow disort. It says crooked paths of immorality and selfishness, often despite witnessing spiritual truths. So they strayed away from the truth, man. They don't want no parts of the Bible, man. Meanwhile, the Bible, like the scriptures say, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times, and the fear of the Lord is his treasure. This Bible is beautiful instructions before leaving earth. This is going to guide you, man. This is that lamp that you need to guide you, man, this word. And if you don't have this word, you're pretty much going to perish, man. Okay? So going back to 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 3 in the AMP, it says, but even if our gospel is in some sense hidden behind a veil, it is hidden only to those who are perishing, right? Among them, the God of this world, Satan, has blinded the minds of the unbeliever to prevent them from seeing the illuminating light of the gospel of the glorious Hamashiach, who is the image of Yahweh Shemawashai. All right? So the Lord has allowed Satan to play on y'all minds, man. All right, that's why you still believing that you're a part of this black culture community in 2026. That's why some of y'all still think that you are a righteous Christian going to these harlot houses. You still believing in Jesus in 2026. Man, you niggas are still asleep because the God of this world has blinded the minds of you people, man. The gifts, loving the world like the Lord told us not to, is blinding the minds of our people, man. That's why we call them 2/3. They've been rejected. The Lord is not currently dealing with them. And when the Lord is not dealing with you, man, you're going to remain in the congregation of the dead, man. Pretty much whatever befalls upon you is just going to happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 16. All right, starting at verse 1. The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither should thou have sons or daughters in this place. For thus saith the Lord concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, concerning their mothers that bear them, concerning their fathers that begat them in this land, they shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, and neither shall they be buried, but they should be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they should be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven, and or for the beasts of the earth. For thus said the Lord, enter not into the house of mourning, right? It say, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament or no bemoan them. Don't even lift up a prayer for these people. All right, that's pretty much what Jeremiah 16 chapter is going to, man. Because after that, Babylonian, Jeremiah was prophesying about us going into a Babylonian captivity, man, how harsh it was going to be. They destroyed our temples. Hey, they slayed some of our people, killed the kids. You know, man, hey, it was vicious, man. Fast forward today, that same judgment, right, because we currently in Babylon. We in the daughter of Babylon, all right, Babal, place of confusion. Man, the Lord's going to bring distress like no other, man. Fast forward, man, we're going to be in that same situation again, man, because of our not listening skills, man, because we're not listening and hearkening unto Yahweh Shemawashai. So the Lord's going to bring every judgment that is written in these scriptures upon these 2/3, these hard-headed Negroes, man. What you do with a hard-headed child? Whenever they don't listen, you whoop them. You bring the rod out. Well, that's why you don't want to be on the Lord's bad side, because when he bring the rod out, it's going to cost your life. All right? The Lord is our ultimate parent. Yahweh Shemawashai, our big brother, going to bring that belt out on us, man. You know? And 2/3, man, if you have not, you know, you ain't going to never, you know, receive the glorious light of this gospel. So you just out there just ready for destruction, man. Your fate is already decided. This is Jeremiah 16 and 5. It said, man, y'all ain't gonna even be buried, man. Y'all carcasses is gonna be left for the beasts of the earth and the fowls of the heaven, man. All right? It's crazy. This is Jeremiah 16 and 5. For thus said the Lord, enter not into the house of mourning, talking to the prophets, the men, all right, those that obeyed the Lord. Neither go to lament nor bemoan them. For I have taken away my peace from this people, said the Lord, even loving kindness and mercy. Both the great and the small should die in this land. They should not be buried. Excuse me. Neither shall men lament for them, nor cut themselves, nor make themselves bald for them. Neither shall men tear themselves for them in mourning, to comfort them for the dead. Neither shall men give them the cup of consolation to drink for their father or for their mother. Thou shalt not go, right, also go into the house of feasting and sit with them to eat and to drink. All right? For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes and in your days the voice of mirth, the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show these people all these words, they shall say unto thee, wherefore hath the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our power? Then thou shalt say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, said the Lord, Yahweh Shemawashai, right? But that's Lord all caps, so that's Yahweh. And have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. And ye have done worse than your fathers. That's why the Lord called this generation wicked and perverse, man. This generation is worse than our forefathers. This generation refused to come to the wisdom and knowledge and understanding. At least back then, when we was getting messed up in the book of Judges, we at least knew who our power was, you know. But guess what? Over time, that spirit of rebellion and fighting against Yahweh Shemawashai has pretty much, man, it's pretty much, man, has become our people's first nature. Okay? And it's just what they display. They just displays unfaithfulness and perverseness, man. All right? And now they actually living out the scriptures, man. They living out the scriptures. Somebody got to play the parts of the 2/3. That's why you just better be glad that it's not you, man. That's why you got to give all praises to you. How about Shemawashai? Because, man, we don't want to be in the seat. We don't want to taste that hot, that intense judgment that the Lord is going to bring upon 2/3 of our people, man. All right? And our people don't even understand how the Lord gets down. They don't understand how he gets down, man. All right? They don't know that the Lord kills. They don't know that he can get real vicious on somebody, man. They don't understand that because they so selfish. All right? They only worried about self. This is Jeremiah 16:12. And ye have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk every one after the imaginations of his evil heart, and they may not hearken unto me. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land where ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers. And there ye should serve other gods day and night. That's why you got a lot of Jesus freaks out here, man. Thinking Jesus pacifying them for their sins. Meanwhile, that's Jesus. But Yahweh Shai is not going to pacify you for your sins, man. All right? Fuck Jesus, man. That ain't the Lord's name, man. All right? That's Cesare. That's the Bourdieu family you're worshiping when you say Jesus. You need to be worshiping Yahweh Shai, man, the God of the Bible, man. Yahweh Shai, man, the Father and his Son. All right? And they are Qadar men according to the scriptures. And if you still worshiping that white stringy-haired devil in 2026, man, hey, man, eat a missile, man. All right? So going back to Jeremiah 16:13, it say, there shall ye serve other gods in day and night, and I will not show you favor. And the Lord is not going to show favor to this wicked and perverse generation, because the Lord have had his eyes on this generation for a minute, and he has watched the ways of men, and they have not conformed to his will, right? This is 2 Corinthians chapter 16, right? 2 Chronicles, Salaki. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 16 in the Message version, the MSG, verse 9, okay? Verse 9, it says, but you... Yeah, this is verse 9, right? And this is from, the Lord was talking to the king Asa, right? Because he showed the things that are sacred, right, unto the heathens. He revealed those things to the heathens, and the Lord got upset and judged his ass, man. All right? And this when the kingdom was split as well, too. Okay? This is 2 Chronicles 16, verse 9 in the MSG. But you asked the Most High for help, and he gave you the victory. The Most High is always on the alert. It's going straight to the point. The Lord is always on the alert. Okay? He always watching, constantly on the lookout for people who are totally committed to him. Okay? You were foolish to go for human help when you could have had when you could have had Yahweh Shema Shai's help. Now you're in trouble. One round of war after another. Okay, so this is in the MSG. So this was the judgment that was going to befall upon Asa. All right? And guess what? Our people, like the Lord said, he stripped his favor from you. So bad shit is going to happen unto you. Okay? Constantly bad shit is going to happen to 2/3 of our people because they disobeying the words of Yahweh Shema Shai, just like this king did. Okay? And the Lord is always alert, looking for those that are committed to him. So if you're not committed to him, if you acting like God don't exist and you're walking in the planet Earth doing the complete opposite, you're going to get destroyed, man. All right? This is Psalms chapter 14, starting at verse 1 in the AMP version, man, the amplified version. It said, the spiritual ignorant fool. That's a great name for a 2/3. The spiritual ignorant fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have committed repulsive and unspeakable deeds. There is no one who does good. The Lord has looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there are any who understand, act wisely, right? Act with wisdom, apply wisdom, immerse in wisdom, who truly seek after Yahweh Shema Shai, longing for his wisdom and guidance. They have all turned aside. Together they have become corrupt, and there is no one who does good. No, it said no one who does good, not even one. Okay? So in 2 Chronicles, the 16th chapter, the Lord is always on alert, looking for those who are committed to him. Psalms 14 said when he's looking at the earth, he pretty much see everybody being repulsive and worried about self and doing whatever, thy will. All right? And like I said, heavy judgment is going to fall heavily upon those, right, who do thy will, man. This generation is not going to pass. This is Matthew 24:34. Verily I say unto you, this generation should not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. So all the evil that the Lord have said that was going to happen and befall upon Israel for their disobedience, it's going to happen. Simple. Okay? Let's get Malachi, right? Malachi 4:1. And we're going to close it out with this. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. All the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. I love this precept because you can mention, it's like the Lord put 2/3 in there as well. Yeah, the wicked, Esau, Edom, the one who's currently in the ruler seat. All right, he's going to taste missiles as well, too. All right, his people is going to taste those missiles. All right, all those that have fought against Jerusalem is going to taste those missiles as well. Okay, but also 2/3 of our people, right, which, like the scriptures tell you, all the proud and all that do wickedly, our people are a part of that, man. Because our people, man, hey, they have an atheist mindset and an atheist behavior about themselves, man. They want to live free, man, wild and free. They don't want to hear corrections. They don't want to apply themselves to the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai. So the Lord's going to judge them for that. He's going to send an ultimate weapon, right, that's going to kill all their noise, man. And it's called thermonuclear missiles. World War III is on the rise, man. Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. All the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day they cometh shall burn them up, said the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai of hosts. And that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Okay, so the Lord's going to bring a smith that blows the coals in the fire. He's going to bring a weapon of his indignation, all right, to cure all that wickedness, man. All right, because the fire is going to be a cleansing agent. You see? And sin is as witchcraft, man. All right? They say rebellion is as witchcraft. You see? And the Lord, man, he's going to put out all evil, man. All right, we're going to go back to those quick judgments that we used to have, man, back in the day, man. All right, where men was judged on the spot. Households was burnt to death, man, if they disobeyed the words of Yahweh Shema Shai. So the fire was never a new thing. It's just going to be a new thing to to people that's perishing, okay? Because they have loathed the law while they yet had liberty. They have forgotten who Yahweh Shema Shah was, and the Lord's going to introduce himself once again. All right? That's all I have. Shalom.